seventh grade student at Mossville Elementary. I participated in band, jazz band, track, cross country. I was an IMEA jazz musician, and I did scholastic for part of the season. I'm also a trustee. The Bill of Rights was written for a reason. Way back then, our government knew within just a few years the Constitution alone was leaving out some important rights. The Fourth Amendment protects U.S. citizens from unreasonable searches and seizures. A random drug test is a search, and without suspicion, it is unreasonable. And it's not just some law, it's there because an unreasonable search and seizure is wrong. It is an unreasonable search and seizure whether or not the subject is in an extracurricular or co-curricular activity. This leads me to my next point. I've heard adults argue that kids need to earn their rights and respect. I've even heard one say that kids don't have the same rights as adults. If our forefathers wanted an age at which citizens would get their rights, they would put that in the Constitution. It didn't. The Fourth Amendment protects citizens of all ages. Now, I agree with those who say kids need to earn their respect. Kids earn respect by being respected. You aren't going to get very respectable kids by disrespecting them with a drug test, assuming that they do drugs on no suspicion. I speak from experience in myself and with my friends. Kids start rebelling when they feel that they aren't respected. This will happen with the drug test, and it will definitely cause problems completely unrelated to drugs when the kids rebel. Also, kids will use drugs as an escape. Everyone needs an escape, it's just that different people have different methods. People need to escape from stress. I can tell you that 90% of my stress comes from school, and sometimes how I'm treated just because of who I spend time with. School is usually the main source of stress for kids, and although not all the stress is necessary, I find it rather interesting that this school is trying to get rid of a drug problem that they almost definitely brought on themselves. Instead of disrespecting kids with expensive, useless, unreasonable, and disrespectful drug testing, try treating kids more respectfully. I think you'll like the results. If I'd had more time to write, I probably would have come up with some more points.
Thank you. Anyone else would like to address the board at this point? Right here.
My name is Tom Penelon. I live at 3128 East Gabler Street, Chillicothe, Illinois. I have two children in the IVC district. I'm very happy with the great progress of many years. Confident the board's support of many programs. I did have two questions. One is on the policy committee's order towards a drug testing program that might be considered voluntary version of the program. Comment on that?
That was discussed specifically as something you had brought up when we spoke. We looked at it, and one of the decisions we made was to look at the voluntary aspects of some of the neighboring districts programs. That's how we ended up with the safe harbor provision, to give kids a chance to voluntarily step forward and say, instead of waiting for a random test, to step up and say, you know, I need some help.
Okay. And I do appreciate taking that input as part of the process. And in our discussion, we brought up the situation that IVC was one of 6 districts that did not have a program in place at this point in time. And then there was a reference to a series of other districts in that conversation. Can you bracket how that study was framed?
Sure. I sent out an email to regional superintendents and asked for responses as to who was drug testing, who was not. And so I didn't call every school, but the schools that responded, I put in the list. And then I looked locally and said, you know, in my list I included some schools like Streeter and Galesburg that were a little bit on the outskirts who replied to my email. But then I pointed out, just kind of from a nucleus, the ones regionally contiguous to us that are still not testing.
I just wanted to understand the background. Sure. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks. Anyone else would like to? Yes, ma'am.
And I live at 518 Washington Street, Chillicothe. And I'm really concerned that I haven't heard really anything addressed about the legal issues of this that could come from this. So I have two 16-year-old girls at IVC. I have my daughter and foreign exchange student. They both have long hair. Of course, to a 16-year-old girl, the idea of having patches of hair cut from the scalp once, twice, or more times each row is not well taken. My daughter has decided to abstain from any extra-school activities if this policy is passed. However, she does drive to school every day. She has a job for many reasons. she needs to drive to school. I find it unacceptable that she'll be disallowed to park in the parking lot unless she conforms to the policy. And I don't believe when these kind of cases do get to the Supreme Court, I don't think they're gonna find it acceptable either. The literature that's been presented by the board are relying on 2 Supreme Court cases that simply don't apply, and that's just misleading at the very least. I don't think they should be used at all. If the policy is passed, the district is going to be exposed to potentially costly litigation. In fact, it is highly likely, considering the controversy surrounding this policy in our community. The Supreme Court did not say that it was okay to test students outside of those participating in competitive extracurricular activities. The court also did not say that it was okay to test by means other than urinalysis. This should be seriously considered, because these issues have not been decided, but they certainly will be. And I don't think that our school district wants to be the one that gets involved in that kind of a contentious litigation. And I haven't heard anything addressed about that or concerned about any of that, because it's coming up, it's gonna happen at some point, whether it be IVC or another school.
Sure, all great questions, I'll tell you right off the bat. And we've had numerous conversations with our attorneys about some of these exact things, specifically about is there a difference between urine testing and hair testing? And some of the advice we're getting back is that they're 2 scientifically proven ways to do the same thing. And that in their opinions, the Supreme Court findings would hold for urinalysis, breathalyzer, cheek swab, all the different methods that you can do with screens. So,
And you're just counting on that, I mean, because
well,
if it doesn't go that way,
that's what we
I
have
mean,
attorneys for, is to help keep us out of potentially dangerous situations. So those were their thoughts on that matter. In terms of prevalence in actually doing hair testing, we've got references from 7 different states where schools are doing hair testing, have been for as long as 8 years. And there haven't been those legal challenges.
because it hasn't been in the Supreme Court yet, there's cases now, and it is heading in that direction. Eventually, it's gonna happen. It could be this school. Who knows? That's not gonna be something.
All I can say is we don't plan our decisions. I speak personally, I wouldn't plan my recommendations around what might happen. I think my recommendations are formed by what I think is best for the students and what advice I get from the attorney as to what's a good position for the district to be in. So I understand your concerns. We've got the same questions, and so we've had those conversations to make sure that we're not setting ourselves up for an awkward position.
Okay, so if my daughter parks in the parking lot, what's gonna happen to her? A punishment or?
Well, you referenced 2 Supreme Court cases that we talked about. I think in my PowerPoint, I talked about 2 specifically, but I listed 8.
Right, but they pertain to urinalysis, not hair testing.
But in that, they do include parking lot as something that's allowed under that umbrella.
Right, I
That's the
understand that,
population.
but what happens if I tell her, go ahead and park there? I don't know what the punishment is, but I don't know what she's supposed to do, or, you know.
We have students right now who get suspended from the parking lot, whether they're spinning their tires or acting.
Well, right, that's
And so if
understandable,
those
that's
students,
different.
but if the students are told they can't park in the parking lot, then they do. I believe the administration would handle that in its coordination. And so if the student is told you can't park here, or they don't have
You
a.
can't park here unless you conform to this policy, even though your parents don't give consent to it.
If that is a policy, you're right, it would be insubordination to use the parking lot without a parking
I
space.
think when it went to the Supreme Court, that would not go over at all. So that's just a concern to think about, seriously.
Well, we appreciate that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else? Yes. Over here.
My name is Will Offit. I live at 10629 North Moss Street in Mossville. I don't have a written prepared statement, so probably not going to be nearly as eloquent as the people who found before me, so I'm just going to keep this brief to the point. I oppose this drug testing policy because I believe that it really has more as a deterrent to
The other thing too is, I know I talked to Dr. Polyak about this. Are parents going to be able to sign up their children if they want them to be included in this program as freshmen, maybe if they're not playing sports or haven't committed to playing sports yet?
So Mike had asked that question to me prior, and I did contact the attorney and spoke specifically about that question. He said, we can do it if we'd like, he wouldn't recommend it.
Sure.
Because in the purest form, this needs to be a random program.
Sure.
And so any component of it that makes it non-random would start to muddy the waters.
Okay.
So we talked about it, he just recommended that we stay away from that idea.
Okay. And then as far as my job, I'm a union steam fitter, which any job location I go on construction-wise, I'm subject to random drug testing every day. So I don't, the fact that we're doing this in a high school where kids have a chance to rebound